Agenda is approval of the reports and minutes. They've all been in the convention book, so I'd be willing to take a motion. And I only see
National President.
Yes, Tony Perfilio.
There are some corrections to the minutes, if this would be an appropriate time to do them.
Yes, I'm taking a motion right now first to see if there's approval of the minutes. Can I just at least have a motion and we
I make the motion.
Okay, Vince makes a motion.
I'll
Seconded
second
by
that motion.
who is that? Please mention your name.
Barbara.
Barbara. Okay. I have 4 screens in front of me, only 1 screen in front of me, so I can't hear everybody.
Sorry, worthy president.
No worries, Barbara. Come on, Jersey girl. You're all right all the time. Okay, so the motion has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Tony, go ahead.
On the minutes from Saturday, August 14th, under state presidents in the roll call, it has David Corsi listed as the state president of the Northwest, and it has me listed as state president of Ohio. David Corsi should be listed as state president of Ohio, and the state president of Northwest needs to be corrected.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, let me take one issue at a time, Tony. That one doesn't need a vote. That's an easy correction. So I would ask that the recording secretary make note of what Tony said, and we will amend and correct those minutes. Go ahead, Tony.
That's on page 67 of the business book, by the way. On page 75 of the business book, also under the minutes of August 14th, under National Trustee Ohio, the person that nominated me is left blank, and that should say nominated by David Corsi, Ohio State President.
That too does not need a vote. I would ask the recording. We see you, Nancy. I'll be with you in a minute. We will make that correction. Worthy recording secretary, please. Anything else?
And then finally, on the minutes from September the 8th, there is a serious deletion under new business. If you recall, under new business, after Articles 62 and 79 were tabled, we presented and voted on the new Article 120, which provided for the election of Connecticut's national trustee and the restoration of certain delegates to Grand Lodges who had lost membership. Without that in the minutes, there was no authorization then to go forward and nominate and elect a trustee from Connecticut. So that approval of Article 120 needs to be inserted in those minutes.
That's a significant issue. I believe that passed unanimously, did it not, Tony?
I believe so.
Okay, so I would ask the recording secretary to amend the report. That is very important that Article 120 was passed unanimously on September the 8th. Thank you, Tony. Anything else?
That is all I have, worthy president.
Okay, Tony, I see you, but I recognize Nancy first. Nancy Porcelli. You have to unmute.
I have 3 corrections to the minutes. First of all, on roll call, on Friday's Zoom in Jersey, our delegate, Mary Krappis, was left off of the roll call. Crapis, that's 1. Number 2, on page 75 of the September 8th minutes, when it says state presidents for PA, my name isn't there. It goes to past national presidents. After PA, it should say Nancy Temperio Porcelli. And my 3rd correction is page 75 on national trustee. Nancy Temperio Porcelli nominated Gina Toth Becker for national trustee for Pennsylvania, not the Northwest. That's my 3 corrections. Plus today, I didn't hear my name on roll call for Pennsylvania.
It was. We called it.
What?
Recording secretary. I see you, Tony. Hold on. Just give me a minute. Recording secretary, John Saladino.
You have to unmute yourself, John.
John Saladino.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. To answer the last few minutes when we were watching the Grand Lodge presentations from all the lodges when they were established and everything else, there was a lot of interference here in Boston. So I know that Sister Nancy was there, and I did mark her present with all the other people that were there. David Corsi was there.
I'm present for the state president for Pennsylvania,
That's correct, and that's the way we have you listed.
but I never heard my name.
Well,
And
believe
I
me,
did not hear my name either,
Okay.
Anita.
Okay, everybody, please.
Anita Riley.
Stop, everybody, one at a time. We heard
All
you,
right.
Anita, but please, either raise your hand in the chat room, or I'd ask the national office to be looking to the 4 screens for anybody that has their hands raised. Let's deal with Nancy first, please. Go ahead, John.
all the ones I mentioned were everybody that was present on the screen. As Joe Shami stated, there was 97 people on there. And you know, if they don't all show up at the same time, some were on telephones and other places. So
Okay,
all the stuff comes in like a madman.
Nancy's presence is noted
Is noted.
for the record. And before we get to you, Carlo, and I'm only going on the screen I could see before me. Tony had his hand up first. Go ahead, Tony.
I just have one.
Hey,
Wait,
John,
Carlo,
President.
wait, please.
I'm
If you're-
making sure John got my 3 corrections, that Jean is trustee for Pennsylvania.
We got that.
Thank
John,
you.
do you have that?
Can you check it again, please?
You can talk about this offline with Nancy if you don't have it. I don't want to hold up an entire meeting because names aren't right on a list. Carlo, hold on a second. Tony Anderson, go ahead.
Thank you, worthy President. On page 73, number 7, under 4th Vice President, and number 8, they have switched it. So 8 should be 7 and 7 should be 8, because Mark is the 4th National Vice President and I am the 5th.
Okay, that is noted too. What I'm going to do here, because there's a number of things that have to be, Carlo, I see you. I'll be with you in a second, brother. This is recorded, so we're gonna get it all down. And at the end, I'm gonna take a motion as to whether or not everything that everybody is saying is acceptable. And then John will relook at the recorded video and correct the minutes accordingly. First, before you, Carlo, Anita was speaking. Anita, please, you're recognized.
My name was not announced either as state president of Maryland. That's all.
Anita will be recognized as the state president for Maryland. Carlo, go ahead.
Yes, on page 70, section 6, says approval of minutes, convention minutes. I think you should put it after it says approval of, put in the word 2019 convention minutes, because it doesn't state the what minutes, what convention minutes they are. Should
That's
be
fine.
approval of 2019 convention minutes. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. Now, that's anybody on the, okay, anybody else has an issue, please keep your hand. Okay, I see Vera. Go ahead. You can unmute.
On page 77, when we reconvened on September 8th, that was at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, not 8 a.m.
Thank you for that correction. Okay, now I don't have access to the other screens at this point in time. Anybody else that has an issue, raise your hand so the national office can recognize you. Okay, I see Michelle Ment's hand is up. She is on my screen. Go ahead, Michelle, you're recognized.
My name wasn't called either as state president of New York.
Michelle Ment is recognized as state president for New York, with the recording secretary's apologies to all who have been mentioned as state president.
Thank you, worthy national president.
Yes. Anybody else with an issue, please raise your hand.
Denise Finari has her hand raised.
Denise Finari, you're
Yes.
recognized.
Yes, my name was not called as the state president of Massachusetts.
Denise Finari is recognized as state president of Massachusetts. Thank you, Denise. Our apologies. Anybody else?
Linda Anderson.
Linda Anderson, you're recognized.
Thank you. I also was not called as president of the Northwest, nor were my delegates.
No, the
Thank you.
delegates are not included in this,
Oh. Okay.
President should have been recognized. Delegates are not for the purposes of what we're doing here, but thank you, Linda. You are noted as being here. Greatly appreciated. And who else? I saw another hand somewhere.
We have
Larry
John
Brennan.
Bonaventura.
Recognized.
Yeah,
Rhode
I was
Island.
here. Yeah, I was here from Rhode Island, the president of Rhode Island. I'm present.
Okay, it appears to me the presidents weren't read out, but okay. So John,
They
thank you
weren't.
for
And we have Larry Brennan from Virginia.
Larry Brennan, you recognized. I see you,
Tony
Tony.
Tiziano.
Larry Brennan, you're recognized.
Sorry about that. I put myself on mute and then came off of mute. I was not called during roll call as well. State President of Virginia.
Larry, you are recognized. I believe there was an omission with regard to calling the state presidents. Thank you for that. And who do I keep saying? And they pop off my screen. They're on my screen and then they pop off. Anyone else?
Paul LaPorta, too.
Oh, Tony, go ahead, Tony.
Tony Cianciano, President of the State of Florida, wasn't called either. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Recognized. Anybody else have issue with the minutes? Please raise your hand.
Diane Santoro.
Diane Santoro, you recognized.
Thank you.
Dan Matuella.
Paul Apoco has his hand up.
Paul, you're recognized. Go ahead. Paul Apoco, you're recognized. I don't see him on my screen. Is he still there?
He's just muted. Paul,
You're muted.
go ahead and unmute yourself.
He sent a note in the chat that he was present.
Okay, Paul's recognized as being present.
Same
Thank you for that.
Same as Dan Matuella, President of
Dan
Nebraska.
Matuella, thank you. Anyone else have to amend the minutes or wants to be recognized or wasn't recognized?
And National President, may I suggest that the office staff send me a revised list, please, of the 2021 to 2023. I'm going off a list that gives me, half of it is 2019 to 2021. And this is where the confusion is on the national directory that was sent to me.
Okay, well, I would ask that you get together with the national office staff if there is an issue and correct it. I'm just presuming that this is all done and we can move smoothly along with it, but that's okay. Let's correct it. Anybody else have anything about amending the minutes? Please raise your hand. National office staff, can you see if anybody's raising their hand?
I don't see anybody.
Okay, it appeared to me that most of the issues that we had here with regard to the recognition of the state presidents who have all been recognized, there were some corrections of the minutes. They all seemed, according to Hoyle, to me, I don't want to go through each one and waste anyone's time. So I'm going to ask for a motion to accept the changes that were listed by those individuals. And if there needs to be discussion, there can be. I see Tony Perfilio. Are you making that motion, sir?
I'll second it.
Tony Perfilio made the motion.
Second.
Tony
I'll
Anderson
second.
seconds it. Is there any discussion on the motion to make the amendments to the minutes that have just been discussed with us? Hearing no discussion, I'll take a vote. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Does anybody object or is against the motion to amend the minutes? If so, please do it by voice.
No.
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye, raise your hand.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Very good. Any opposed or abstain? The motion carries unanimously. Please work with the National Office Recording Secretary in order to make the amendments to those minutes.
Mr. President, if I may, I just sent John an updated national directory list to his email.
Thank you. Okay, so we are at the portion right now for my report. Again, I'm going to try to keep things as quick as possible, moving as quickly as possible. I want to thank you for your confidence and support. That we have been doing a lot. I mean, literally working day and night with respect to what we're doing here in terms of new programs and new procedures and things of that nature. I emphasize again that we have not, nor has anyone seen us do anything that traditionally was done that has changed. In fact, we welcome everything that was done traditionally because it's part of who we are. but we're also using new technologies and doing new things in order to complement that. We're going to show you some, we've done a lot of deep diving into the office in terms of vendor contracts, how much they are, comparing them to other vendors, trying to cut costs, things of that nature. We've done a lot of metrics in terms of, which we'll show you later, about how the organization is moving both with dollars and membership, while at the same time, as you will see, having some really spiffy new programs that I think you guys are going to really like in order to build the fraternalism in the organization. I have to give a special thanks to Dr. Mark D'Annunzio and Dr. Mary Kovach, who are acting as the liaisons to the national office. I am literally on the phone with each of them for hours each day, and I know they are taking my instructions and implementing them with the national office. So I know they're spending even more time than myself, and we spend a lot of time. We have two calls a week. This is a tradition carried on by Nancy DeFiore Quinn, which I think was a very smart one. And we all know we've gone through COVID, and Joe D and Nancy had done a great job navigating us through that difficulty. We're still dealing with that difficulty, but Mary and Mark have been great since Joe D has retired in terms of working with the national office. And I want to thank the national office because we've changed things up a little bit in the way we do business. We have 2 calls a week that typically last about an hour and 45 minutes a call. Those calls, we have agendas. Everyone is allowed to put something on the agenda and discuss it. We've implemented Basecamp, which is a task management system, so that we can assign tasks to people so they just don't kind of get lost. Justin is in control of that and has done a great job. And I think it's been a great value to us, so that we all, because we have so many ideas and so many things going on, we want to make sure we're moving in a uniform fashion. Again, I thank Paul Polo and Frank Cattuso and Mark D'Annunzio, but Paul in particular, for getting us out of what could have been a disastrous problem if we were in Tampa and we weren't able to make the convention. So we appreciate that. The bylaw committee and all the committees, we have new committees. We know they're all doing plans and they've all been very good. We're going to work on those plans going forward. And we've really been relying on some committees, and we will continue in order to, instead of the office staff doing some things, we think it's better situated in a committee that alleviates some of the office staff's responsibilities so that they can better manage the projects that we have in other regards. We have a temporary support person that's taken some weight off of them in terms of doing clerical work, especially as it relates to Justin and Miles are working on the higher level projects. The bylaw committee, there's a couple of bylaw recommendations to change. We proposed one of them, I forget the number, I apologize. One of them is to make the committee chairs able to be delegates to be voted into office at convention. I'm pulling that bylaw. We have for consideration, so you do not have to worry about that if that decision was made by me today. I think it is a good bylaw. I think it is something that we should discuss more. I took the temperature of the group because I see no need to get into a battle, add an actual motion to do something when there's not the will. It'd be a close call from what I see, but that means half the organization isn't ready for it. So I don't think it's a good idea to implement something that there's not significant buy-in for. But I will just reiterate, and I will talk to Joe Boncory because he'll be the next person that we'll be dealing with this, and I'll be talking to Michael Polo as well, as he will shortly. We need to do something in order to try to get investment of some different talents and demographics, and whether it's this bylaw or some other bylaw or some other suggestion, we're more than willing to listen. So don't worry about that bylaw. We won't need to deal with it. I want to thank Mary Kovach in particular for the organizational chart. I don't know if we have a screenshot of that. Somebody has it. Maybe we could put it up there. This was something that was very important because no one knows where to go sometimes in the organization, and they tend to just call their typical go-to. So this organizational chart was put into effect so that everybody would know exactly what the table of organization is, which every organization has. And it's not just businesses that have it. Every organization has a table of organization. I'll wait for somebody to tell me whether they have that ready to be shown. But in the meantime, we also had no policies and procedures, standard operating policies and procedures that I think are essential, especially with regard to job descriptions and the way we do things at the national office, so that if somebody goes on vacation or somebody gets sick, as you can see, there's the org chart trying to load up. Okay, and you'll see the office staff there. You see Adam and part-time. You see Mary and Mark up there as the office liaisons. Could you scroll down?
Are you able to see the full screen?
I can't.
Let me take it down. Let me find it.
Yeah, so while they're finding that, the policies and procedures are going to be key so that somebody could just pick up the policy and know exactly what it is that they have to do. We had noted through our auditing and things that we were doing that some administrations put some things into place, and during the transition to a new administration, the new administration didn't know what the old administration did, and the old administration didn't know what the older administration did before that. So these policies and procedures will be updated as we go along. My intention is, I call it the Joey factor. So that when Joey Boncory comes into office, everybody on his team, including himself, will have a table of organization. They just have to change the names and the placeholders, and they'll have a set of operating procedures so that they'll know exactly what the national office staff does and how to do it. Go ahead, Mary. I only see part of it.
Still only see part of it?
Yes.
All right, give me a second.
Just scroll down.
Okay, in addition to that, we've updated the website. We've done a couple of different videos for a couple of different projects with Lisa Marie Falbo, and continued our Facebook Live series and getting tremendous bump on that. As you all know, we are getting ready to launch and are almost there. The project for reaching 3.8 million homes on News 12 Plus, which reaches the tri-state area. It's a beta project. If it works out, we will be rolling that out across the country. But of course, if you guys want to advertise in that from across the country, those will all reside on YouTube. So not only will the content be good, but if you'd like to assist, and we'll talk a little bit about later how you can do that as far as sponsorships are concerned. We're starting to get the buzz on the sponsorships. I especially want to thank the state of New York and Michelle Ment in particular, who, like many times before, were the first to jump up and stand up and raise their hand, and also raise the capital that we were asking from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut in order to help support defray the cost of the production. And the cost of production is not a lot, but New York so far has done that, and that's greatly appreciated. And we're also looking for other businesses. Our idea, and I believe this will happen, is that when businesses see that we're reaching 3.8 million homes, that we have over 800,000 views on our Facebook Live series, that we have 85,000 followers on Facebook, and on I could go, that they will want to advertise with us because we are reaching a lot of people. I don't know if Carmelo Squituli is still on the line. I had an extensive discussion with him. Very interesting. Italian businesses who may want to do business in America. Apparently there may be I think there's a program in Italy that actually pays them, at least partially, for the advertising cost to advertise their products in the United States. So that is a relationship with Carmelo that we are building, and Biagio is directly from the Business Development Committee dealing with Carmelo. And between Biagio and Carmelo, I am confident we're going to have a great relationship business-wise with the Italian businesses. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, can you see the slide?
I can see the slide, but only the same thing. Can you scroll down?
Justin?
No, okay. It's just take it off. It's fine. Okay. It's the table of organization goes to literally the entire organization, up to and including the committees. We're going to get a copy of that out to you via email so that you have that as a resource. Further, we have the Italian Family Photo Contest that's being run by Miles Fisher from October 1st to the 15th to coincide with Italian American Heritage Month, and our Facebook Live and the Facebook Live interview live on October 20th with Bianca Tone of My Italian Family, who is donating a prize for that. My father, you guys may know, wrote a poem, I Am an Italian American. If you haven't read it, it's received a lot of success. My father has authorized us to be able to put a project together with respect to that. Actually, there were some Italian organizations that actually posted it on Columbus Day on their social media platforms, which obviously we should be doing as well, since he's one of us. OSDIA's Got Talent presentation is being developed by Dan D'Onofrio and the tech committee in consultation with Lisa Marie Falbo. So let's see what kind of talent we got out there. So that should be pretty funny because I know there's a lot of talent out there. We'll be doing Giving Tuesday. We're working on that project with Robert Frito and Joe Shiami. Our financial position, I just want to generally speak, I know we're going to get into a lot of detail about this later.